Today I'm going to review how feminism is a massive psyop and an attack on the modern lady's mindset. The whole premise of feminism is equality, which is a subject that is largely misunderstood in and of itself. Women substitute equality for the same, so they falsely believe equality means the same thing or identicalness. But two things can be at par, yet very different. Kind of like equilibrium. In fact, that is a fantastic example I just thought off the top of my head. Equilibrium can only be achieved when the quantity of demand equals the quantity supplied. I said this to a feminist one time and she completely lost her mind. Well, demand and supply are two different things. Exactly. They are two different entities in and of itself, but without the interplay of demand and supply, a market cannot exist. By extension, equilibrium cannot be achieved. It's the same thing with a relationship. When a man is good at being a man and a woman is good at being a woman, the interplay is what makes for equilibrium or a cohesive relationship. Where all gets messed up is trying to rank one above the other. That's like trying to put demand over supply, or otherwise it doesn't work. It doesn't work. One need the other to coexist. The world is actually fair. You cannot survive without the other. So when a man is complete, is equal to a woman, not equal in the sense of identicalness, but the man is complete at being a man. He exceeds in every single masculine trait you can name. The woman exceeds in all of her feminine traits. Is the interplay between that kind of relationship that makes a lasting one. The problem you see in today's society is women are trying to be the men of relationship and it doesn't work. Unfortunately, like I initially pointed out, where it needs to be cohesive or the demand has to equal supply. Unfortunately, men are no longer meeting that standard. In the days of old, there were certain rites of passage, there were certain things you had to do in order to be considered a man. Unfortunately, with things like the age of internet, you can shake your ass and do some stupid dance and boom, you're a millionaire. It wasn't like that previously. You would have to start a business, network, get your communication skills up, become an entrepreneur, learn financing, go to the bank, how to solicit venture capitalists, how to solicit funds from investors, deal with all kinds of accounting and endless amount of stress. Are you trying to say someone who stood and pitched an idea in front of a lot of venture capitalists is the kind of individual to be terrified over a lady? So all of these attributes and traits you attain in building a business is what will translate you ultimately to become a man. Unfortunately, it's no longer like that. Let's not deviate from the original point that we need one another. And the original point that equality doesn't mean the same. See it like football. The striker can be rated 89, the defender 89. Are the numbers equal? Yes. But are they the same? Hell no. A striker is always going to be good at striking, and the defender would be optimal at defending. It all becomes messed up when the defender is trying to do the striker's job. As a coach, in order to get optimal team performance, every single person has to know their identity, has to know their role, has to know their place. So for anything of admiration to work. Every single one of us has to know our role and also sustain the mindset that one isn't above the other. Just because we are doing different things doesn't mean we get to rank one above the other. Although that's the case with men and women. Men are always going to be better than women. It's a different podcast in and of itself. But women should stop trying to do men things and men women things. It doesn't work. The relationship would always end in shambles. Well, occasionally I provide and protect. So does Militao. Occasionally he scores header for Real Madrid. So just because I was out one day and you decided to get toothpaste and toilet roll doesn't mean you fucking provide and protect. What's wrong with these bitches? But you get the point. Equality doesn't mean the same. Equality can be at par, or two things can be at par, yet do very different things. Keep it here. And as always, my friend, pleasure speaking to you. See you in the next one.